Hello and welcome to this English learning video. Today you will improve your English with a powerful method. You will learn through a story. This method is called shadowing. Listen carefully, repeat after me, try to copy the voice, the speed, and the feeling. Let's begin. My name is Anna. I am 22 years old. I live in a small town with my mother and my little brother. Our house is simple, but it is warm and full of love. Every morning I wake up early. I help my mother in the kitchen, then I go to work. I work in a bookstore. It is a quiet place. I love the smell of books. I love the silence. And I love the feeling of learning something new every day. My life is simple. Nothing very exciting ever happens. But one day everything changed. It was a rainy morning. The sky was gray. The air was cold. I woke up and heard the sound of rain hitting the window. I stayed in bed for a moment. I felt calm. I thought it would be a normal day. Then I picked up my phone. I saw a message. It was from my best friend, Maya. The message said, "Anna, please come to the airport today. I need you 12 p.m. Terminal 3. I sat up quickly. My heart started beating faster. This was strange. Maya never sent messages like this. She always explained things. But this time she said nothing more. I tried to call her once, twice, 3 times, but her phone was off. I started to feel worried. Why was her phone off? Why did she sound so serious? I looked at the clock. It was already 10 a.m. I had only 2 hours. I quickly got out of bed. I didn't think too much. I just knew one thing: Maya needed me. I opened my closet. I took my jeans, a pink jacket, and my white shoes. I looked outside. The rain was still falling, so I took my umbrella. I went to the kitchen. My mother was there. She was making tea. She looked at me and smiled. "Good morning, Anna." When she saw my face, her smile disappeared. "Everything okay?" she asked. I said, "Mom, I need to go to the airport. Maya needs help." She looked worried. "What happened?" "I don't know," I said. She didn't explain. Mother was silent for a moment, then she said softly, "Be careful." I nodded. "I will." I left the house. The cold air touched my face. The rain was light but steady. I walked quickly to the bus stop. There were many people there. Everyone looked tired. Everyone looked busy. The bus arrived. I got on. It was crowded. There were no empty seats, so I stood. I held the rail. The bus started moving. I looked out the window. The city looked different in the rain. Everything was gray. Everything was quiet. I saw people walking fast. Some had umbrellas, some were running. I kept thinking about Maya. Why did she call me? Why was she at the airport? Why did she sound scared? My mind was full of questions, but there were no answers. After a long ride, I finally arrived. The airport was huge, bigger than I remembered. There were many people. People were walking quickly. Some were running, some were saying goodbye, some were crying. The sound was loud: announcements, voices, footsteps. I looked around. I felt small in that big place. I checked my phone again. No new messages. Terminal 3, I said to myself. I started walking. I followed the signs. It took me some time. The airport was confusing. After about 10 minutes, I finally found Terminal 3. I looked around. But Maya was not there. I waited 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Still no Maya. My heart started beating faster. I felt nervous. I looked around again. People were everywhere. But she was not there. Then I saw someone, a girl. She was sitting alone, near a window. She had a suitcase, and she was crying. I looked at her for a moment. I didn't move. Then I thought, she needs help. I walked slowly toward her. "Are you okay?" I asked softly. She looked up. Her eyes were red. Her face was sad. She said, "I missed my flight." Her voice was shaking. "I don't know what to do." I sat next to her. "Name is Anna," I said. "Can I help you?" She took a deep breath. "Name is Sarah," she said. She told me her story. She came from another city. She wanted to see her father, but she was late. The plane had already left. She had no one, no plan, no idea what to do next. I listened carefully. I felt her pain. I took a bottle of water from my bag. I gave it to her. "Here," I said. She smiled a little. "Thank you." Talked for some time. She was kind, very kind. She said, "You are a good person." I smiled, but inside I was still worried. Where was Maya? Suddenly my phone rang. My heart jumped. It was Maya. I answered quickly. "Maya." "Where are you?" Her voice was fast, nervous. "Anna, where are you?" she asked. "I'm at Terminal 3, I said. "I've been waiting for you." There was a pause, then she said, "Oh no, I made a mistake." "At Terminal 2, my heart dropped. I said, "I'm scared, Anna," she said. "Please come fast." Heart dropped. I said, "I'm at Terminal 2, Maya said again. "I made a mistake." Her voice was shaking. "Scared, Anna, please come fast." I stood up quickly. "Coming," I said. "Move." I ended the call. I turned to Sarah. "I'm sorry," I said. "I have to go. My friend needs me." Sarah nodded. "I understand," she said. "Thank you for helping me." I smiled. "You will be okay," I said. "Stay strong." I grabbed my bag and I started running. The airport felt even bigger now, more confusing, more crowded. I followed the signs to Terminal 2. My steps were fast. My heart was beating hard. I kept thinking about Maya. Why was she scared? What happened? Finally, I reached Terminal 2. I looked around. My eyes moved quickly, searching. Then I saw her. She was sitting on the floor near a wall. Her head was down. Her shoulders were shaking. Maya, I shouted. She looked up. Her eyes were full of fear. Anna, she stood up and ran to me. She hugged me tightly. I was so scared, she said. I held her. It's okay, I said. Here, I looked at her face. She looked tired, nervous, afraid. What happened? I asked. She looked around, then she spoke quietly. I think someone is following me. I was surprised. What do you mean? She took a deep breath. On the bus, she said, I saw a man. He was looking at me, not normal looking, watching. I listened carefully. When I got off the bus, she continued, he got off too. Body felt cold. I walked faster, she said. He walked faster. I came into the airport. I tried to lose him. She looked at me. I saw him again. Where? I asked. At the coffee shop, she said. He was there looking at me again. Heart started beating faster. Are you sure? I asked. She nodded. Yes, I am sure. Then suddenly, she grabbed my arm. That's him, she whispered. I turned slowly. I saw a man. He was standing near the exit. He wore a black cap, a brown coat. He was looking at his phone, but something felt wrong. I felt it, the same feeling Maya felt. My hands became cold. Stay here, I said. I will talk to him. I took a step forward, but before I could move closer, the man looked up. He looked at us. For 1 second, our eyes met. Then he turned and walked away. We didn't move. We just watched him disappear. Maya looked at me. Do you believe me now? I nodded slowly. Sat down. For a few minutes, we said nothing. I said, we need help. Maya nodded. We stood up and walked to the help desk. We told everything, every detail. The staff listened carefully. Worry, they said. We will check the cameras. Felt a little safer, but not completely. Maya looked at me. I'm lucky to have you, she said. I smiled. Next time, tell me the right terminal. She laughed a little, but inside we were still afraid. We decided to leave. Let's go home, I said. But we must be careful. She nodded. We walked outside. The rain was still falling. I opened my umbrella. We got into a taxi. We sat in the back seat. The taxi started moving. I looked out the window, and then I saw him, the man, black cap, brown coat. He was standing under a tree watching us. My heart jumped. Maya, I whispered. He's still there. She looked. Her eyes became wide. He saw us, she said. The taxi moved faster. Rain hit the windows. Maya held my hand tightly. Do you think he will follow us? She asked. I don't know, I said, but we must be smart. I leaned forward. Sir, I said to the driver, can you take us to the city mall, not home? The driver nodded. Okay. The car changed direction. I looked behind us. A black car turned. It followed us. My heart sank. Maya, I said, that car, it's behind us. She looked back. It's him, she said. He's driving. We're silent. Fear filled the car. We reached the mall. It was big, bright, full of people. We got out quickly. We walked inside fast. The man parked. He followed us. He's still coming, Maya said. I grabbed her hand. Needs security, I said. We found a guard. Sir, I said, a man is following us. The guard looked serious. Show me. Pointed. The guard walked to the man. Why are you following them? He asked. The man looked calm. Not following them, he said. He pointed at Maya. She is my sister. Maya stepped back. What? That's not true, she shouted. The guard looked at the man. Come with me, he said. The man suddenly turned. He tried to run, but more guards came. The sky was turning dark. The city lights slowly turned on. Everything felt quiet. But inside me, there was still a question. Who ordered this? The police officer came back to us. He said, we are still investigating, but we found something important. Showed us a photo. It was the man who followed us. And behind him, there was another name. My friend looked at it. His face changed. Daniel, he said quietly. I think I know who did this. I asked. Who? He hesitated. Then he said, my business partner. I was surprised. Why would he do this? He replied. Because I left the company and he wanted control. I understood now. This was not random. This was planned, the officer said. We will handle the case. You are safe now. Finally felt relief. We went outside the building. The night air was cool. The streets were calm. We walked slowly. No one was chasing us anymore. No one was watching. We stopped near a small park. We sat on a bench. My friend looked at me. Thank you, he said. I smiled. For what? For trusting me. I looked at him. And thank you for calling me. Stayed silent for a moment, just listening to the night. Then I realized something. This day started like a normal day, but it became something else. A test, a challenge, a moment of fear, but also a moment of courage. I stood up. I think I should go home, he nodded. Me too. Shook hands and said goodbye. I walked alone for a moment, thinking about everything. I helped my friend. I faced danger. I stayed calm. And I learned something very important. Sometimes life puts you in difficult situations. Sometimes things are scary. Sometimes you don't understand what is happening. But if you stay calm, if you help others, if you do the right thing, then you grow. I finally reached home. My mother opened the door. She looked at me with worry. Where have you been? She asked. I smiled. It was a long day. She hugged me. Are you okay? I said. Yes, I am. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about everything, but not in fear, in strength. Because I realized something important. I am stronger than I thought. Days passed. Life returned to normal. But one day, something unexpected happened. I was walking in the city when someone called my name. Daniel. I turned around. It was a girl, someone I had helped before. She smiled. You remember me? I smiled back. I do, she said. I wanted to thank you again. Sat and talked. She told me her story. She had found hope again. And in that moment, I understood something. When you help others, you are also helping yourself. When you are kind, kindness returns to you. When you are brave, life rewards you. That day changed my life, not because of fear, but because of courage. And now it's your turn. Listen to this story again. Pause after each sentence. Repeat the words. Practice your English. Use the shadowing technique. Copy the voice. Feel the emotions. Speak with confidence. This is how you improve. This is how you grow. Thank you for watching. Thank you for learning with me. And remember, you are stronger than you think. See you next time.